Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have Ann Tisdell with us, and she is an artist who's been on before. And she came in today from Webster. Welcome back, Ann.
Well, thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
good to be back.
She's too talented here. She does her art, the paintings, and you also sing. You'll see them in the flyers downstairs in the main lobby of the Upton, the main lobby. Holden Senior Center presents a concert of show tunes, and you are a soprano.
Yes.
I think I would be an alto. I can't get up that high, but I could do it an alto. This is going to be, we get that out, coffee and dessert after the program. It's going to be at the Holden Senior Center, August 10th, Wednesday, at 1 p.m. Free admission. So Ann is going to be singing. She's a soprano. And Dan, how do you say his last name?
Macawiak.
Macawiak, beautiful. He's the accompanist on the accordion.
Right.
Do you two practice together with that?
Well, we practice whenever he's at dances.
That is
And they
fantastic.
do need to call to reserve a spot.
So call to reserve a spot. Just, let's see.
The telephone number's on the
Okay,
bottom.
to reserve a spot, 508-210-5570. We'll try and get this again before the show closes. We'll get you back on this number.
Okay.
She brought some of her artwork. Wait till you see it. If you haven't seen it before, it is quite amazing. And from July 1st to the 29th at the Pearl Crawford Library up in Dudley, she has your exhibits Monday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday, 10 to 5, Wednesday, 10 to 5, Fridays, 10 to 5, Saturday and Sunday closed during the summer. And you're going to have flapping flippers, that's a whale, right?
That's correct.
And chickadee and an evergreen tree, right? We'll talk more about that too. And how busy where else have you been appearing lately? You're a busy girl.
I had an exhibit in December at the Book Lovers Gourmet that was all my art. And I also had 2 paintings in an exhibit at the same place.
Yeah, we went up to the new one, the new Book Lovers Gourmet building. It's really nice.
It is.
I kind of liked the house, though, they were in before. It was kind of cute.
Yeah.
But this is bigger. And that's when we saw your paintings up there. We talked with Deb Horn. Hello, Deb. And I think she was telling us that's Ann Tisdale's artwork up there. That's a great... Did you have good success up there?
Well, I don't know how you defined success, but
to sell at least one.
Yes, I did.
Good girl. Okay. In this day, with everything going on, if you can sell at least just one thing, it's great because one person can spread it to 20.
Right.
There you are. She has brought some of her work with you. Show us some of what you've done. Now, you do, is it oils, Ann, or is it acrylic?
I do acrylics and watercolors and pastels.
I love this. Wait till you see these. Sunflowers or daisies, Ann?
Sunflowers, because this is dedicated to Ukraine.
To Ukraine. Oh, she breathes it just a little bit. Is that good? You've got the yellow and the blue of Ukraine, right?
That's correct.
With a butterfly.
That's right.
Do you do it by looking at a picture, or do you do it solely what's in your mind?
I usually use a series of pictures to guide me.
Beautiful.
And this is acrylic. And I was concerned about the Ukrainian people, so I wanted to do something that represented their country. And a lot of people don't understand that after the Chernobyl accident, they planted lots of sunflowers because the sunflowers break down the radioactivity.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How did they do that? How does that happen? Just,
The plants take care of it.
it's pretty amazing. So this is a fairly recent painting.
Yes.
Now, where is your studio? At home?
If you can call it a studio, it's one room.
That's okay. Anything we could get these days, right? Did I originally meet you in Framingham?
No.
At the big, it's no longer used as the big artist studios on 3 floors. Where did we first meet? How did I first know about you?
It was through Deb Horan.
It was through Deb.
Yeah,
Okay, that's beautiful. That's one. Just what? Now that's acrylic.
that's acrylic.
Oh gosh. Do you have a lot of woods behind your house?
Well, I'm out and about. So I saw this doe off the bike trail down in Rhode Island.
Oh wow. With her baby,
Yes.
with her fawn. They were further away from you than it feels like on the picture?
Yes, she was.
And she didn't run.
No, not initially. I took quite a few pictures of her.
I wonder how old the fawn is.
Well, judging from the fawn's appearance, I would say that it's maybe still about 3 to 6 months old.
Beautiful. You get the details without it being, how do I say, overwhelming. That's what I love about her artwork. It gets the point across. It's beautiful. It's always colorful, but it's not over. You know what I'm saying? It's not over the top with details.
Right.
Beautiful, Anne. Ah,
Now I have 2 watercolors.
yeah. Are they in your bag? Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
All right. One looks like a mirror. Is it a mirror?
No.
No.
And I've got to be careful of the angle here because with the glass you
Yeah.
get reflection.
Can you get that okay? All right. Well, yeah. You got the whole fam damly there. With the mama duck, the daddy duck, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 babies?
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
I did this very recently.
Was that Webster Lake?
Part of Webster Lake, yes. And it's amazing how fast those ducklings swim when they're with their parents.
Their little legs.
They just go so fast. It's like they move like a swarm.
You did that recently, right?
Yes.
Was it in the spring?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm seeing baby. I saw some babies out recently, and some. I thought, isn't it a little late? But like swan babies or duck babies. But it seemed like it was a little late in the season. Oh, bunny rabbit! I'm way off there. Bunny rabbit. Mummies with the baby bunnies
They have several litters.
in the same year.
Yes.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
But mommy, dad, daddy ducks, basically, it's 1 year or twice a year.
I think it's once because they can have quite a few ducklings. I saw one pair that had like 10.
Yeah. 10?
10.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so
So that's
pretty.
this one?
Has that been? Have these been hanging up in the Book Lovers Gourmet or no?
No.
Oh, look at the turtles! Oh, where did you see those? Does she need to hold it up a little bit?
I
Oh.
saw these in Thompson,
In where?
Connecticut.
Right over the line from Webster.
Right.
And you just saw
And
them.
so
or
they were sunning themselves. Remember, they're reptiles, so
Yeah.
they're cold-blooded animals, and they need the warmth. Yeah. So they were having just a lovely time out there.
And what you do is you see the beautiful picture, snap it, right? And then she comes back and she paints it.
Right. May not be exactly like the photograph. It's very hard to get it just like the photograph, but I paint it to my own personal taste.
Right. It gets the feeling across.
Right.
Again, not a whole lot of details, but the feeling is right there. The colors mesh with the turtles. It makes them stand out.
Right.
And then you even have underneath their reflection.
Yes.
Well, that's hard to do, isn't it?
Reflections can be a bit tricky.
So cute.
So
Right
these
over
are
the-
these are painted turtles.
Painted turtles.
Yeah. If you look at them on the underside, they have all these designs on their abdomen. So they're really quite beautiful.
I wonder if they're a pair or they were just friends. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't either. Oh, wow. When did you start painting, Anne?
Well, I've always dabbled with drawing and sketching and so forth. But being in healthcare, that was where my career was. I didn't have time to do much more than that. So I didn't really start painting until I retired.
Wow. I mean, not even in school, like art class or college. The teachers didn't see your tendency to art?
College, no, I didn't have time in my curriculum to...
Nursing? Was it
Yeah, was nursing. I didn't have time to take an art course. I did take some art courses that were basically art history.
That's what I did too.
But as far as having the time to do projects and things like that,
Yeah. No.
I didn't have
So
time
you went
for that.
right from high school to nursing.
Right,
Is it
college.
Nursing. Where'd you go?
UMass Lowell,
And it was 4 years?
yes.
I bet you have to study biology, right? Science? How about math? A nurse has to know the math, right?
Yeah, there was some math, but it was mostly steeped in the sciences, things like biology, chemistry, biochemistry, organic chemistry, microbiology. I'm trying to remember all the different courses, anatomy and physiology.
It's almost like an MD in med school.
Yeah, no, the science courses are very involved.
Very intense. So you have a really good ability to follow your math and and the details, and yet your art keeps it simple with the basic emotions of how you feel when you look at it.
Right.
That is amazing. Did you know you were talented in both aspects until you retired?
Well, yes, I did, but I didn't know to what degree.
Yeah. You didn't know yet.
And I mean, I did do some painting. I did take a course at Montserrat.
Yeah.
And, so I got to do things periodically, but it wasn't anything that I could do with any kind of abandon. Now I can just do what I
Yeah.
want.
Oh, well, she does it, nails it right on the head. And how can they reach you if they'd like to talk with you?
My email is Tisdell, Tisdell @gmail.com.
Now, if somebody wants to have your beautiful pieces on exhibit, how far would you travel? In New England or beyond?
I think that really depends upon the venue. I travel up to the North Shore to see some of my friends because I lived on the North Shore.
Yeah. Is it Hingham considered North Shore?
No, that's South Shore.
South Shore. I know my parents lived in Hingham for a while. North would be like Gloucester.
Yeah, I grew up in Swampscott.
Oh, you grew up there.
Yes.
So you were born in Boston and then raised in Swampscott?
No, I was actually born in Worcester.
Oh.
My parents were from Worcester.
Was it Memorial just before it turned into UMass Memorial? No.
Nope.
St. Vincent?
Nope. Hanneman's.
That's right. Hanneman used to have maternity. My grandmother and my father, her son, were both born in Hanneman. That old, but you look at it off Lincoln Street, and they got a little more modern around it. But that old part, that's where they were born.
Yeah.
Somebody once said to me, and I think they're nuts, said, well, those were only the families that had the money to go there. And I'm like, no. Anybody can go to the hospital and have a baby. They weren't going to throw them out. Was that true?
I believe so because we used to, when I was first started in my career, we saw everybody.
Yeah. Did you work there at Hanneman?
No. I was on the North Shore.
You were always. Did you ever come to Worcester to nurse at all?
Well, when I came back to Central Massachusetts when I got a job at St. Vincent's running their prenatal clinic.
Yeah, that's.
But that was 2007.
Are you enjoying? I hate the word retirement. I think nowadays a lot of people just start a whole new life. They might leave where they've been for years, right? Say kiss it goodbye, maybe in their 60s. Someone's lucky is even in their 50s, and then they start a whole new career, a whole new hobby.
Yes.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a lot of fun.
You are.
This is definitely much better than because I don't like what healthcare has morphed into.
Yeah. What do you see? I wonder if we see alike on that.
I see a lot of conveyor belt care, which is not what I did when I was working as a nurse practitioner.
You were an NP, nurse practitioner. I just saw one nurse practitioner at UMass. Was it yesterday? They're almost a doctor. What's the difference between an NP and a PA, physician assistant?
Okay, it has to do with philosophic educational programs. Nursing, as a nurse practitioner, you're grounded in nursing science.
Mm-hmm.
A physician assistant is grounded in the medical model with disease and pathology.
Okay, so
There are big similarities,
Mhm.
but their program is shorter, and they pretty much have to work with a physician.
Almost again like going to med school. Almost like it. I think UMass does have they have a nurses coursing there too, like the med school. They have both for doctors and I believe nurses too.
I don't think so.
I don't know. That's what somebody had said to me, and I'm thinking, well, if that's true, that's great.
No, you have lots of nursing programs around Worcester. You have one in Anna Maria College in Paxton. You have one at Worcester State University. Becker College used to have a nursing program, but Becker College closed.
Yeah, I know it.
And then they have a
can-
2-year program at Quinsigamond Community College.
Is the 2-year program, in your opinion, just as good as a 4-year?
No,
What do they miss with 2 years?
they don't get as much time for clinical experience.
I got it. Now, when you're painting and you're at home, are you surrounded by your different paintings? Or do you do
Well, right now I'm not,
No.
because a lot of them are on exhibit.
How many do you think you have? All told.
Oh. I think I have over 100.
Oh my God.
But I don't have all my watercolors in frames.
It's, people think, oh, well, art isn't expensive to do, but it is. Just to get them framed.
Exactly.
Framed professionally. Unless you can go to Walmart or one of the other stores, if you're just starting out. I don't know. What do you think? How's the best way to maintain a budget?
Well, having somebody else doing your framing is extremely expensive.
Yeah, yeah. So how would you suggest an artist who paints, starting out, how would you explain that?
Well, I buy frames for my watercolors because that's pretty easy to do.
Mm.
That's straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
With the acrylics, you're not going to have them in glass because that is the glass will stick to the painting.
Yeah.
So that should be exposed to the air, just like oil painting should be.
What's your favorite? Oil paints or the acrylics?
I didn't like oil paints.
But you like watercolor, right?
I like watercolor.
Better than acrylic or either one?
They're two different mediums that behave very, very differently. And I like each of them for different reasons. So to say that I like one better than the other
Mm-hmm.
would be incorrect. I like pastels. I love the way I can blend pastels.
Yeah. Do you use a sponge to blend them, or your brush or a hand?
It might be with my fingers.
Yeah.
It might be with a shader. Whatever suits my fancy at the moment.
We had a guest long ago, and she was great as a teacher. I mean, it was for colored pencils and how to shade correctly and everything. So I signed up for her full class, but I only ended up going to a few. It just wasn't my thing. When I do my art, I love all color Sharpies, and it's very abstract. I like to do the colored pencils. Do you ever do those beautiful?
Yeah, I've done colored pencils.
You're probably very good at it too.
Multimedia. I've done multimedia. One of the pieces that I have hanging up at the Pearl Crawford Library in Dudley is an endangered Iberian lynx, and I just couldn't get the shading in it that I wanted with the watercolor, so I went and I used colored pencils to get the kind of. So I was more satisfied with how it looked.
I don't know, is it I didn't have the patience or just whatever, but the shading thing was so meticulous. I'm like, oh, this is not my thing. I like it to be, do it and see your product, and that's it. Now, again, this is where come see my art, an exhibit of paintings by M. Tisdell. She's from Webster, and it's going to be on it's from July 1st now, right to the end, 29th. It's at the Pearl L. Crawford Library, 40 Schofield Ave in Dudley, and it's basically all weeks except Saturday and Sunday. Right? And they don't have to call to sign up to come visit it.
It's in a room, a conference room that's directly to the right after you go through the entrance. It's a very lovely, homey feeling library.
I've been to the Webster Library. I haven't been to Dudley.
Now this one you have a completely different ambiance as compared to the one in Webster.
I love different libraries, don't you? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
People say, why do you go to so many? I said, because they're all so different.
They are.
Yeah, I like that. So, Flapping Flippers, and you probably can't see it, but she'll leave this downstairs. That's about a big whale, right?
Yeah, a
Did you take
breaching
the
whale.
picture? Did you actually?
I did.
Where was this? Cape Cod, or?
Actually, we had a group of us had gone on a whale watch,
Yeah.
and we left out of Salem, Massachusetts, and we went out to Stellwagen Bank, so we were really quite far out.
Yeah.
And this whale was breaching and breached. I couldn't tell you how many times. It was amazing.
And you survived a whale watch this way?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I bet there were more than a couple people hanging over the edge. Oh, I know I would be.
I didn't see anybody hanging over the edge. They were just too enthralled with the whale.
They were really excited. Well, maybe by then they'd already died. But they see the whale. How long a trip was that? An hour or so out there?
Oh no.
Longer?
Yes, it was about 2 hours out and about 2 hours back.
Oh. Well, look what you get, though, in the end. If you can
Yes.
hang on to your lunch, you're all set.
Yes.
And then her other picture is Chickadee in an evergreen. It's really pretty. It looks like, is it all paint or is it some of it's marker, the branches?
No,
All
that's
paint.
that's all watercolor.
That's watercolor.
Yeah.
And the whale is acrylic.
Yes.
To have talents in both, I think is pretty cool.
And I like pastels too.
Yeah. Yeah,
The exhibit that I'm going to be doing in September, again at the Pearl L. Crawford Library, with two other painters that I paint with. We call ourselves Palette Pals. I plan on putting some of my pastels in that exhibit.
Do you ever exhibit down this way, more towards Worcester? Out this way?
I have done a few things for Arts Worcester in the past, but that's usually only one painting. They don't usually have just one artist exhibiting in their exhibiting space. And when I was taking classes at the Worcester Art Museum, I was in the adult students art exhibit. There were two of my paintings. Signet Siblings was one of them, and then Seaside Snowy Owl was the other. And they are on exhibit at the Pearl L. Crawford Library.
Did you ever exhibit, Ann, over at Tatnup in Westboro? Tatnup
No.
Bookseller?
No.
They have a huge presentation room. You can exhibit. If you're an author, obviously you can give presentations and do book signings. I bet you'd love it. Right over here in Westboro. Tatnup Bookseller. Really a good
Tatnick
place.
Bookseller used to be in Tatnick
Yeah,
Square.
I know, and then they got it, but it's closer now. It's practically right next door to Upton. Now, again, here it goes. She's also a singer. She is a soprano, and at the Holden Senior Center on August 10th, that's a Wednesday, there'll be a concert of show tunes, open to all, free admission, featuring our Ann Tisdell as a soprano, and Dan Makowiak, what?
Makowiak.
Makowiak. And he's on the accordion. Coffee and dessert after the program, but please call for reservations. 508-210-5570. Is there a limit to how many people can come?
I haven't been told that,
Okay.
but they just want to make sure they have enough seats set up for people, and they also want to make sure they have enough coffee and treats.
And a refreshment. So they don't want you hanging from the rafters. They want you to have a seat, at
Right.
least. And again, how can they reach you?
I can be reached by my email at aidtisdell@gmail.com.
It's so dry in here. Now, does every library open their ideas to having artists exhibit, or is it hard to get that?
Actually, it wasn't difficult. What happened was they were doing exhibits before COVID,
Yeah.
and then COVID
Oh,
just utterly destroyed everything for everybody.
yeah.
I'm sure that
Oh, yeah, we were
You're-
out of commission for a year, so almost a year. Yeah.
I'm sure that your audience can appreciate that. So the exhibit that I'm doing, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure. The exhibit that I'm doing at the library in Dudley is the first one that they've had since
before
COVID.
COVID. Were
Yeah.
you on the roster, Ann, to be picked first?
No, it was actually Deb Horan from Book Lovers that told me they were looking for artists to do an exhibit. So I went over there and I looked at the space and I talked to the librarian, and she told me what dates she had open, and she had July. So I said, well, do you want me to come and do an exhibit in July? And she said, that'd be great.
Do you ever appear in person so that people can get to know you? Get a presentation night?
That usually happens with Book Lovers Gourmet, but they didn't have any kind of built-in opportunity to meet the artist.
Would you be open to that? If
Oh,
somebody
absolutely.
So if somebody watches this and they would love to have you come and exhibit, you're open to coming and being in person?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah, I can see that. That's why I mentioned Tatnup, because they have a great and beautiful room right towards the back, so you would enjoy that too. So, there's also, in Douglas, there's a very charming library. Have you ever seen that one off Route 16?
No, I haven't.
Lots of libraries. The Morphy, Uxbridge. If you come out this way, we've got about 4 minutes to go. We've been talking with Ann Tisdell, and she is an artist, many talents, watercolor, acrylic, and pastels. Have I got that all right?
Yes, you do.
You also do well with colored pencils.
Yes.
That's a real artist, let me tell you. And where are you right now? Are you accomplishing the ending of one of them, or you got a bunch of them lined up to go?
I'm working on one now that's a woodland scene with a wall. That's going to be a rabbit that's chasing a chipmunk.
Aha. Have you noticed there's an awful lot of bunnies showing up lately? We have.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But there's a cat across the street. Darn cat. We seem to have lost some of the babies that were out there with Mommy and Daddy eating the clover on the lawn. I don't know. The lady across the street mentioned, oh yeah, they've been bringing home a rabbit or two. I'm like, no. The coyotes, they're out there too. So you're out in Webster, and are you right in the center?
No.
No, you're out more out this.
We actually have to cross into Connecticut to get to our house.
Yeah.
So it's very rural, actually.
Beautiful. Actually, I know 395 isn't how far from there, is it?
That's correct.
That's right there. So we've been talking with Ann Tisdell, and she's an artist with Webster, and get in touch with her, because she would not mind coming to exhibit and maybe give a presentation. She's not shy to talk about what she does. She's very nice. And you're going to be back on with us eventually too, right?
That's correct.
Thanks for coming.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time on Be My Guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.